What's up? Wait. Had you... Fine.
And at the end of all this?
I see Monarch ain't the only pet project the board's willing to abandon.
Why do I have a feeling we're not gonna like what's in there?
Evacuation in progress.
Captain, transmission request from...
Captain! Imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news. Someone? You mean someone still has access to the facility? Oh, after all this time. Who was it? Of course. They know you're on the case and they're scrambling to cover their tracks. Good thinking, Captain. Make sure you have eyes on the back of your head. I doubt we've seen the last of this human vexation. If I know Spacer's choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization, and layers of it. I seem to recall that Mother worked closely with Gorgon's R&D personnel, but not close enough to invite them over for dinner and cocktails, if you get my meaning. By now, they'll have moved on with their lives. If only I could do the same. I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was Adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time. What? No. I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea Adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about Adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late. Adrenatime was touted as the working man's best friend, a drug that boosted productivity with no adverse effects. The promise of Adrenatime cannot be overstated. Exhaustion and fatigue were supposed to be obsolete. Workplace accidents would be things of the past. For whatever reason, the drug never lived up to that promise. I don't know. And thanks to Spacer's Choice, we may never find out. I know that I'd like to see a colony where the promise of Adrenatime was fulfilled. And I doubt I'm the only one. Thank you. I certainly ought to know what I'm doing. I spent years trying to break into pharmaceuticals, professionally speaking. Mother wouldn't hear of it. She didn't think I had the wit to succeed in her line of work. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes? Ta!
Join me for a second, will you?
Wouldn't it be something?
Your best finest. Go on in.
Welcome to the Musgrave Family Collection. Still a work in progress. I'll tell you what I've told all the other guards. Mind your boots. Our floors are not made for armor. If you're here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful behavior. This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating. Oh, that's just so encouraging to hear. I'll just go ahead and add your comment to my permanent record. Now then, how can I help you? Mr. Mostly is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his Canid Laplace into our competition. You should find Mr. Mostly just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left. Mr. Mostly is... You should find... We find that our clients enjoy the appearance of participating in illegal activities. Secrecy contributes to a feeling of indecency.
This kind of thing's pretty common. Bijou's used to do a prison-themed night. Served fish sticks with tartarus sauce.
Oh, yeah. Prison-themed night was the best. Plus, they gave away limited edition designer handcuffs. The Musgrave Family Collection was intended to be a gallery of fine art. And here we are, using this place to practice semi-legal Canid shows. Scandalous, isn't it?
The Emerald Vale plant is back to full production. There's something to be thankful for.
How long did you say Musgrave was gone?
I didn't. Frankly, I don't know. A couple of years? More? He said he was...
What do you think you're doing? I suppose I can look away this time. Oh, just hear me out. It's a brilliant idea.
We've been over this before. It's a terrible idea.
Not now, please. I'm a little too busy, you know, being the master of ceremonies.
No one's going to miss a few backwater laborers anyway.
Please don't point that thing at me. Hey, Maverick Johnston's newest star. I've got a question for you. Do you know the interesting thing about Canid shows? So am I. Canids are a fascinating species, biologically speaking. Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about Canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough Canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility. What gave me away? Wait, don't tell me. You've read my monograph, Putting the Us in Calculus, or How to Use Mathematics to Find Your Statistically Significant Other. I'm afraid I don't really do autographs, but yes, I am Clarence Mostly. Oh. Then you're not here about my monograph. It's true, I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know 2 people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason. Why are you going through all of this trouble for a journal? Actually, don't tell me. I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way we don't have to rely on mutual trust. The Grand Prize trophy to the Canid Review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have. What, really? You'll do it? I mean, just like that? Don't you want to know why I asked you? My canid, Laplace, is statistically superior to every other canid in this review. Better average sprinting time, superior gait coefficient, optimal anatomical symmetry. I didn't bother entering little Laplace in this pointless contest. He's already won on paper, you see. That trophy rightfully belongs to him. Oh, you're much too kind. Does this mean you'll do it? Head into the main hall and take the elevator down. The maintenance tunnel is the only way up into the trophy room. Some technician barred the door shut on our end. Ask Tilda Coatsworth about it, over by the podium. You get my eye! I was wondering where I'd misplaced that old thing. It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique dimensions, not unlike a fingerprint. The circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no. Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record.
Can we talk?
What's up?
Come now, Anubis, you must...
Stay back!
Come now, Anubis.
Teach me that.
making it look easy. You know, stealing from these assholes is its own reward.
Come now, Anubis. You must perk up.
I think I would have preferred primals over Canid. It was always next year.
Ugh, I've always hated these things. Basically sprats with an attitude.
You know, the careers of 9 out of 13 actors end after their debut serial. Enjoy the fame while it lasts. My trophy! Look at this thing! Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite? If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers, Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. I see you're familiar with my technique. I'd love to show you my numbers, but there aren't nearly enough napkins in this room. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a Spacer's Choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe. Nonsense. I just needed a good old-fashioned statistical problem to busy my mind. Keeps the faculties lubricated. As far as I know, Jasper Lowe and Marion Blakesley are the only two surviving researchers with high-level clearance. If you want to lift the lockdown on the manufactory, you'll need to send an override from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I'm afraid it's the only way. I know it feels like you're being led on. What is that colorful metaphor commoners use? A wild sprat chase? Remember, this is Spacer's Choice we're talking about. Their security protocols are just as inefficient and frustrating as their manufacturing. I'll tell you what I can. Dr. Marion Blakesley supervised the Human Inquiry and Auditing Facility. Live subjects, measuring tape and syringes, that sort of thing. Someone sabotaged the facility. Blakesley tendered her resignation and vanished. I'm reasonably certain she's hiding in a maintenance bay on Groundbreaker. Dr. Lowe described himself as a dazzling genius in his review. I disagreed. Of the 19 criteria that constitute the rubric of genius, Dr. Lowe only met 15. After the project shut down, corporate traded him off to Auntie Cleo in exchange for 5 lab coats. He's been transferred to an orbital lab around Olympus. Our office gave Dr. Lowe and his team every opportunity to develop a drug under perfectly reasonable guidelines and generous deadlines. Dr. Lowe failed to meet our requests and largely succeeded in using our supply of drugs to get himself higher than the mortality rate of a line worker at a Saltuna cannery. Try to exercise caution. It's good. You did fetch a trophy for my little applause. Technically, that makes you my canid servant, and by the transitive property of employment, my responsibility. No need to sound so astonished. Now, was there anything else? Let's try to keep it down, shall we? At least pretend we're being discreet? There's not a lot about Project Gorgon I can tell you. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I closed that chapter in my life. Look, don't tell anyone I said this. But if there's anything I've learned by living in Byzantium, it's this. If you go looking for the truth, you are looking for trouble. All right. Ask your questions. And then if you don't mind, don't mention Project Gorgon anywhere near me again. Minnie Ambrose. Oh, Olivia's brat. Ambitious, but like the rest of her family, irrelevant. She tried following her mother's example, failed, and if she ever tried again, I couldn't tell you. The name Ambrose doesn't mean anything to me anymore, or to anyone halfway respectable. The Ambroses are, how do I put this politely, obsolete? Project Gorgon was designed to change the life of every worker on Halcyon. We weren't just building a product, we were trying to build a society. How many workers call Halcyon their home? What do they eat and when? How long do they sleep? How hard do they work? What are their most productive years? When do their organs begin to fail? That's the nature of my work. I study human life in order to determine its value. Jewelers appraise diamonds, and I appraise people. It's complicated. I'll be honest, I didn't join Project Gorgon because I wanted to satisfy my intellectual curiosity. I was courting the daughter of a Spacer's Choice family. We were a mathematically congruent match, you see. I had the proofs all written out and everything. Everything. Every project has a margin of failure. We expect setbacks, complications, delays. Project Gorgon experienced a cascade failure. One mistake precipitated another, and another, and another. The labs failed to develop a safe drug. Human Inquiry failed to perform their tests responsibly. An unsafe drug tested on unhealthy subjects by irresponsible supervisors. That's Project Gorgon. I know. Project Gorgon was a failure of leadership. Leadership to which I belonged. I should have pushed for stricter supervision. We gave the other departments too much freedom and not enough oversight. Spare the rod, spoil the servant. Anarchy is not a crime. It is a symptom. The undisciplined workplace secretes anarchy the way our glands secrete enzymes. It's a principle of science. Sabotage came first. The chem lab, Human Inquiry, even my own office. Sabotage broke the discipline of our workplace, leading to confusion, leading to escaped subjects, leading to anarchy. No one appreciates the value of good data. The holistic surveillance device I wear is an invaluable tool, gathering data on all my day-to-day activities. My former colleagues can go into hiding and live in ignorance for all I care. I prefer the self-examined life.
You'd only be letting them into Byzantium. Don't be worried.
I ever tell you about this one patient? One had her eyebrows moved up and the tip of her nose raised.
What? Why? Was she trying to disguise herself? Is she on the run or something?
So she'd always be looking down on everyone.
I've always loved...
You're making that up.
It's making stuff up is work. This is real.
Auntie Cleo's ketchup. Organic, vegan,
Someone has left a threatening message on your terminal, Captain. I was unable to trace its origin. Please make a note of it. Stop at the Groundbreaker Auxiliary Base.
Captain, let's talk.
Why do I get the feeling they're not here to welcome us?
Hey, you! Over here! Let's chat! Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's Riz! Oh, fucking damn it! Every time! So, hey, you trespassing, and I'm armed. Maybe take a second look at your life choices, pal. Nothing. Never mind. What, you gonna report me? I don't work for them no more. I'm with the Gardeners now. All of us kept the peace for the corpse once, but we got tired of being used. Okay, so maybe technically speaking, there was an incident involving a vending machine and some live rounds, and maybe technically I was unjustly terminated. There's a whole bunch of us fell on hard times one way or the other. So we decided to, you know...
Go outlaw and rob everyone who comes across your docking bay?
What? No! We're working private security for this crazy hermit lady instead. Anyway, Blakesley's given us standing orders to strongly discourage anyone who tries to come in. I like to, extrapolate from there. We ain't subversives. We're gainfully employed. This is a private contract. For Marion Blakesley. Dr. Marion Blakesley. Very legitimate. Thing is, she don't want visitors. Miss Junlei can't get too mad if we rough up some trespassers. Especially if I was nice enough to warn them first. This deal with Blakesley's pretty sweet. We get paid, and we get fresh green. My gums never looked healthier. Wait, you serious? You, don't look much alike. Look, we won't give you trouble, but I can't say the same about Blakesley. She's got some crazy setup in there, so if you get shot, don't come complaining to me. This one's clear, guys.
Captain.
Some days, it's like I don't know what to do with myself.
Come, everyone set you up some expensive food. That's a good one.
Wait, what's with this camera? Hello? Damn it. Look, I get it. Some people need things spelled out for them. I'm sure one of the auto mechanicals can explain. Observation log, who knows? Subject number, well, let's call him Percy. Percy here has discovered the secret to success. He has lifted the veil and found the pattern. He wakes up, he listens for that bell 3 times a day. Food rains from the sky. He eats, he waits. Life is easy. But the second your molt comes in, pal,
Nicely done.
was that noise?
So who the fuck? Oh, wait, hang on, I can't hear a damn thing. Just gonna shut this thing off. Right. Marion Blakesley, what can I do for you, Mr. Home Invasion? Cute. There have to be easier ways to steal some corporate property. Go chat up Sublight. Gorgon? I holed up in a forgotten cargo bay of a rotting colony ship just so I could never hear that name again. But here you are. That bastard. Is he still only mostly worthless, or has he achieved mathematical perfection in that regard? He'll be on to the next hobby in a week. Clarence lacks the attention span for this sort of thing. Someone wants to dig up the past, and you're the shovel, right? That's so? Long way to go for notes on a failed project. Corporate demanded a product they could throw onto shelves. That put the squeeze on low at Chem to develop formulas. Samples. But how do you know if the product works? You run tests, see what happens. That's where human inquiry and auditing came in. I ran HIA, and HIA ran the tests again and again and again. And what happens is a whole lot of wasted time and even more bodies. Testing supervisor. I designed the initial testing regimens, managed the staff, made sense of the test results. Tried to anyway. People are complicated, and I don't just mean the test subjects. Try and avoid working with people if you can. It always gets messy. Plenty. Not to mention Spacer's Choice put in the legwork to make Gorgon habitable. Probably crawling with scavengers. You've heard the adverts, right? Work day and night, still feel refreshed the next morning. Now, what we tested for was dexterity, efficiency, compliance. The traits of a good employee. Numbers never came out right. I could have pumped gallons of those chemicals into every living soul in this colony. Wouldn't have changed that. What we got was marauders. Yeah, good luck making that one stick. It's in the fine print, you know. Whatever was in those chemicals, it didn't matter what tests we ran. We kept getting the same results. The protoadrena time solution was both monstrously addictive and had catastrophic effects on the psyche and intellect. A real boon to the colony. I was a good scientist. I had to have wound up on that asteroid for a reason. I worked so hard. We all get stuck in our own patterns. Magical thinking. That was mine. We had a few weird accidents, escapes, minor setbacks. But one day, all the test subjects got loose. Sabotage, they said. It wasn't just us. All of the facilities got hit hard. Shut us down for a while. That turned out to be the last straw. Nah, didn't much care by then. Don't care much now. Spacer's Choice wasn't getting much use out of us anymore, so they shuttered the project, kicked Adrena Time out the door. And I came here. Indulge a scientist. What do you want out of this investigation of yours? Trying to liven up your memoir? Baseless optimism. I like it. You hang tight to that. At least the wildlife won't give you any trouble. What do you get out of headbutting murderous automechanicals for your captain here?
I've been helping folks out of scrapes for as long as I can remember. And the captain's one of the rare few that returns the favor.
Fair enough. That's all I've got. Here, I still have this pass. Don't much feel like hanging on to it anymore. Made my exit the moment the project started falling apart. Had to steal some credentials. This should get you into the volunteer induction entrance. Please, I just messaged people with fake demands for their passwords. That's when they didn't just leave codes written down on pieces of paper. If I couldn't talk my way out past a simple facility lockdown, I'd be working for Rizzo's. That'll get you inside. What you do from there, that's up to you. Come on, I've left it behind me. Yeah, well, you have to go on, don't you? Guilt's a useless emotion. What good is thinking about the past over and over and over again? Please, I don't need... Fine. Fine, here, I remember one of my access codes. Just punch in the keypad equivalent for replication. Should get you into the offices. Maybe get you to my terminal a little sooner. Go test that persistence of yours out on Gorgon. Yeah. I'll make sure the automechanicals don't bother you.
Can we talk?
Must be a step up from before.
An unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. I have been programmed to simulate joy and excitement at the opportunity to test my limited defensive capabilities. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Yes, Captain. I am capable of deploying the Unreliable's articulated thrusters to dislodge their ship from our own. This is a temporary solution, however. A permanent solution may require your personal intervention. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal Now initiated. More working protocol.
Must appreciate such an effective deterrent. Looks like our opponent knows how to play defense. All right, freebooters, fall back and regroup. How many times do I have to tell you people, don't stand so close to the speaker? I can hear you breathing. Let me stop you right there. It's against freebooter team policy to borrow from the opponent's playbook. I'll admit, this attack hasn't gone strictly according to plan. Let's call this round a draw. You head back to your end of the field, I'll regroup my team, and we'll see where things take us in the second half. Like you wouldn't believe. First the macro wave broke down, then our astrogator went on the fritz. Turns out the Unreliable is not an easy ship to track. I got a couple of contingency plans lined up. I just need some time to regroup. So what do you say? Want to try this again? Of course we're playing tossball. We're the freebooters. Tossball is what we do. Tossball and piracy. Here's the problem. I can't let you live, but as long as you're on my ship, you've got the advantage over us. So, we're at an impasse. Couldn't tell you. Disclosing the identity of my alleged employer is strictly against contract. Also, impolite to ask. Yeah, well, you've been upsetting some powerful people poking around Gorgon like that.
Join me for a second, will you? Hey, Cap. Got a minute? Oh, excuse me.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course.